Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about two commandlets, where object and for each object. So let us start the video. Here first of all we will be discussing about where object commandlet. So if we have some collection of objects and out of that we want to filter some object based on some certain criteria, then we can use this commandlet where object. Where object has two aliases, first is question mark and the second is where. So we can also use these two aliases instead of writing where hyphen object. If we have multiple commandlet in pipeline, whatever the collection object where object will be filtering, so those collection of object will be coming from earlier step in a pipeline. How we can use where object? So we have to remember three things. First is property name, second is comparison operator, and third is property value. So here basically we have to compare the property name with the property value. We can construct where object command in two ways. Either we can use script block or we can use comparison statement. So these two options will be only applicable if we are using PowerShell 3.0 and onwards. Here you can see the example when we have used script block with where object. So we have to use curly bracket starting and closing, and inside that one we have to use automatic variable $_ and after dot symbol we have to write the property name, and after property name we have to use the operator, and after operator we have to use the property value. Here I have used operator equal, but it can be any operator. Here I have used string, but it can be either numerical or string or anything. This automatic variable holds the current object in pipeline so that we can get the particular property of the current object. And here we have example of comparison statement. So when we use comparison statement, we don't need to use curly bracket or automatic variable. Straight away we can use the property name, and after operator we can write the property value. So this is how we can use the comparison statement. Now here we will be seeing about for each object commandlet. So if we have some collection of input object, and if we want to do some operation on each element of the collection of input object, then we can use for each object. So this commandlet will be executing some block of a statement against each element of the collection of input object. Like where object, for each object also has two aliases. Either we can use percentage symbol or we can use for each keyword. So both aliases can be used instead of for each hyphen object statement. If we are using for each object, we have two ways to pass objects to this commandlet. Either we can pass objects through pipeline, or we can also use parameter called input object to pass object to this commandlet. This commandlet will operate only one object at a time. It will get one object from the pipeline, it will process that object, and it will again repeat the same thing. It will take the second element, it will process, and it will again move on. We can use three blocks with for each object, that is begin, process and end. So when we use the begin, process and end, begin will be executed in a starting and end will be executed in end while execution, and process block will be executed for each of the element coming to for each object commandlet. We can construct for each object command in two ways. Either we can use script block or we can use operation statement. So if we are using script block, so we have to write entire statement inside curly bracket and we have to use automatic variable. And if we are using operation statement, then curly bracket and automatic variable is not needed. We can straight away use the property and operation what we want to perform on. Now we will try some examples of where object and for each object so that we can understand more about these two commandlets. So this is our first example, and in this example I am getting the service list, and after that I have used where object commandlet, and in this one I have specified the condition, and in condition I am checking whether status is equal to running or not. So it will be fetching all the services which are in running state. So here you can see we can use where object in two ways. So either we can use the script block using curly bracket, or we can straight away use the statement type method. So in this one no need to use the script block or curly bracket, straight away we can use the property name, and after that we can use the operator and we can use the value of the property. So whichever the value is matching of the property, so the same result we will be getting on the screen. So if I execute the first example, here we will be getting list of all the services which is running. So you are seeing here $_. So this is nothing but automatic variable. It will hold the current PowerShell object. So when we get the service here, so we will be getting multiple rows, and here when it will be passed to the pipeline, so it will be passed one by one. So each row here will be considered as a object, and from that object we can use the property, and here we can use the value of property, and we can use the operator in between the property and property value. So this is how we can use the script block with where object. We can also use simply where. So where is nothing but alias of where object, and just after the where we can use the property name and property value. Now let's move to the next example. So in the next example I have used here process name. First I am getting list of all the processes in the system, and after that I have used again where object commandlet, and in script block I am again using the property and property value here. So the property will be process name, and I have used here match. So match is nothing but operator which is used to check any regular expression. So wherever it will be matching this regular expression, so we will be getting that particular process. So we can write same logic using the statement method. So in this one no need to use the script block or $_ automatic variable. Simply we can use the property name, and after that we can use the operator, and we can use the value of the property. So this is how we can use any other property either with script block or simply using statement. So if I execute this one, so you can see that whichever service is starting with P, so we have got here PowerShell_ISE. Since only one service is starting with P, so that is the reason we have got single row here. So if it was matching with multiple objects, then we would have got multiple rows here. So same way if I execute the next example, here also I will be getting the same output. So here also you can see we have got the same output, that PowerShell_ISE. And now we can use the different operator. So here we have lot of operators in PowerShell. So while using the where object, we can use any of the operator. So you can see here in first example I have used equal, and after that I have used match. Now I am using greater than and equal. One more thing you can see here that I have used property parameter. So this is not mandatory. Straight away we can use the property name and we can provide the condition, and after that we can give the value. So here I have used the property and I have given the property name, and I have used the value parameter and I have passed the value of the property. So if I execute this one, so you can again see that we are getting all the process list, and out of that I am checking that property handles should be greater than and equal to 1000. So you can check it here also in the first column of the output that all the handles of the output is greater than 1000. We can also execute the same example in different way. Here I have again used alias of where object, and again I have used here property name and here property value, and in between I have used the operator greater than equal to. So if I execute this line, I will be again getting the same output. Now we have last example of where object. In this one first I am getting list of all the modules, and after that I have applied the filter here using where object. So I have simply used here where, which is alias of where object, and after that I have used the script block. So we can not only use single condition, we can also use multiple condition. So first I am checking that the module name should not be like Microsoft, and it should not like PS as well. So if I execute, so these two names should be excluded from the output. So let's execute this line and we will see what we are getting here. So again you can check it here in the name that we are not getting any module which is starting with either Microsoft or either PS. Now we will see examples of for each object. So here is the first example. This is very basic example of for each object. Here simply I have created one array which will be giving value from 1 to 5, and out of that I have used for each object, and in this one simply I am printing the value. So dollar underscore is nothing but the expression of object we will be getting from the previous command in pipeline. So when we execute this one, so only single object will be passed at a time to for each object, and it will process on that one. So if I execute this line, so you will see we have got output simply 1 to 5. Now we can also do some operation on this automatic variable. Either we can use multiplication or division, we can do any type of operation here. So in next example, if I execute this one, you will see that every output is multiplied by 2 and it has been printed on the screen. Now let's move to the next example. In here I have created again one array, and in this one I am again using for each object. So this time you will see that I have used parameter called process. So this is optional. If we don't specify, still it will be considered as process block. So in this one what I am doing, I am dividing with each element of the array with 1024. So one object will be passed at a time to this one, and the operation will be performed, and in next step again the second element will be passed. So if I execute this one, so you can see here that all the element has been first divided by 1024, then it got printed on the screen here. Now let's move to the next example. Here I have used two script blocks. Either we can use the parameter while using multiple script block like begin or process or end, or we can also use it without naming it. So if we are using single, it will be considered as process. If we are using two script block here, so first one will be considered as begin and the second one will be considered as process. So if we have any multiple things, so the last script block will be considered as end script block. So if I execute this one, so you will see it here that begin has been printed single time and process has been printed two times. So why is it so? Because if we are using any begin script block, so in for each object begin will be executed only once and process will be executed for each of the element coming from pipeline here. In case we have used end block also, so that also will be executed only once in pipeline. We have similar example here. In this one I have just created one variable called sum and I have assigned value of 0, and in each of the loop I am appending this element of the array to the sum. So every time it is coming here, it will be added to the previous value. So first time it will become 1, second time it will become 1 plus 2. So likewise it will go on, and at last when we print the sum, then we will be getting summation of value from 1 to 5. Now let's execute this one, and you will see here when I print the sum, we will be getting summation of value from 1 to 5. So this is how we can use two script blocks. Now in the next example I have used three script blocks. Here you can see in first script block I have just created one variable, in that one I have assigned value. In the second script block again I am doing the operation as previous one. I am just adding the previous value to the sum variable, and once everything is done, so at last the end block will be executed only once and we will be getting output of this variable sum. So if I execute this one, you will see again we are getting summation of value from 1 to 5. Now we have next example, and here we have used multiple script block. So in multiple script block, first will be considered as begin and the last one will be considered as end. And in between how many script block we have used, every script block will be considered as process, and process will be executed for each of the element coming from pipeline. So if I execute this one, so you will see here that begin has been executed only once and end also has been executed only once, and in between for each of the element all the process block has been executed. So for one we have got output, for the second element also we have got process A and process B, for the third element also we have got process A and process B, and the fourth element also we have got process A and process B. So this is how it will work when we use multiple script block. Again we have one similar example, and in this one I have used parameter to name the script block. So I have not used any unnamed script block here, so I have used begin here, and in this one I have not assigned any script block, I have just used $null. And again I have used end parameter. In this one again I have specified the value $null. In between I have used process parameter, and in this one I have specified three different script blocks. So all these script block will be executed for each of the element coming from pipeline. So if I execute this one, you will see here we are getting here two element, and for each of the element 1, 2, 3 has been printed and again same has been repeated. So here you can see 1, 2, 3 and again 1, 2, 3 has been repeated. Now we will see the next example, and here I am getting list of modules available in a system, and after we get the module, and out of that module we are simply printing the name of the module. So here again I have used the script block, and this is nothing but the automatic variable, and it will hold the current object, and from the current object I will be fetching the property called name. So it will be giving the value of name property here. So let's execute this line and we will see what we are getting. So now you can see here in left side screen we have got list of all the modules available in my system. So if I don't use name property here, then we will be getting all the properties set default in the system. So in that case we will be getting more property here printed on the left side screen. Now we have next example, and here I am using parameter called member name path. So in this case path is nothing but again property. So instead of getting name here of the module, we will be getting path where it is installed. So this time our output will be different. So let's execute this line. Now you can see here in left side screen we have only got path where module is installed. So this is how we can specify what property we want to print using for each object. And now we have last example, and this is very similar with the earlier one. This one also will be giving path only, but here I have used alias of the for each object, and here I have not used any parameter. I have simply given path here, and it will be considered as property of the current object. So if I execute this line, so now you can see we have again got the same output. So this is how we have seen how we can use where object and for each object. Now let's move to next part of this topic. Here we have come to end of this topic. So in this topic we have learned about overview of where object and for each object commandlets. We have also seen examples of both these commandlets, and we have seen how we can use these two commandlets. I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.